Hello, guys and gals, and welcome! So, Diablo 4 got a patch today. It seems to be kind of like an emergency patch because they identified apparently an exploit that was happening. There was a post on the forums basically saying something about that people had been finding a way to apparently kill things way too quickly. Or, sorry, not kill things way too quickly, survive way too much damage than what was intended. And apparently they were doing a patch to address this, but it seems to be they have quite a few fixes, quite a few changes. So join me as we go over things. So Diablo 4 patch notes. The Diablo 4 team has been diligently monitoring your feedback as we introduce patches to keep your experience in Sanctuary smooth. We will update the below list and denote whether the fixes are intended for PC, Xbox, PlayStation, or all platforms. June 3rd, 2023, patch 1.0.2D, build number 42131, all platforms. Hello, Wanderer. We've made some balance adjustments to classes and want to provide our reasoning behind them. Overall, we're quite happy with the performance of our classes, but we know there's always room for improvement. Our goal behind these changes is to create a better balanced and enjoyable experience across the board. Our updates fall into three categories. Number one, while we want players to both feel and be truly powerful, some classes and synergies are outside of our bounds for what is reasonable for the health of the game, so we are reducing their effectiveness. As an example, we generally want to avoid creating situations where players can survive unreasonably high amounts of damage for long periods of time, because it's too greatly warps our vision for how combat should be in Diablo 4. See what I mean? Unreasonably high amounts of damage is the wording they use. Some skills and builds are not as effective as we would like, so we're pushing out some buffs to increase their strength. Paragon glyphs are currently providing too much player power, so we're reducing their overall effectiveness. An ideal we've carried throughout development will uphold is that class balance is a journey, not a destination. We want more class builds to be fun, powerful, and competitive within reason. Thank you all for supporting us, and we'll see you in Sanctuary. Barbarian. Damage reduction gained from skill ranks reduced from 4% to 2% from challenging shout. Legendary aspect changes. Bold Chieftain's aspect. Cooldown reduction per nearby enemy reduced from 2.7 to 5.4 to 1 to 1.9 seconds. Maximum cooldown reduction from 12 to 6. That seems like a really hefty nerf to the Bold Chieftain aspect. Aspect of the Dire Whirlwind increases the critical strike chance per second, reduced from 5 to 10 to 3 to 8. Maximum critical strike chance bonus reduced from 20 to 40 to 9 to 24. Pretty hefty nerf there to Aspect of the Dire Whirlwind. In item Goer's Devastating Grips, explosion damage gained from Whirlwind reduced from 50 to 70 to 16 to 26. Damage against wreckable objects no longer increases explosion damage. Explosion damage is only increased by the first 100 hits of Whirlwind. Sounds like they have nerfed Whirlwind really heavily. Sorry, Whirlwind players. Druid skill changes. Pulverize. Lucky hit chance reduced from 33 to 25%. Lightning Storm damage increased from 32 to 40%. A little bit of a buff there. Grizzly Rage damage bonus increased from 5, 10, 15 to 6, 12, 18. Class specialization Obsidian Slam. Kills required for bonus increased from 10 to 20. A little bit of a nerf there, I guess. Calm Before the Storm. Lucky hit chance reduced from 15 to 10%. Passive changes. Electric Shock. Damage bonus increased from 5, 10, 15 to 6, 12, 18. Legendary Aspects. Shockwave Aspect. Damage reduced from 90 to 30 to 60 to 100. Nerf there. Crash Stone Aspect. Critical strike damage reduced from 40 to 50 to 30 to 40. Lightning Dancer's Aspect. Flat damage increased from 0.5 to 0.6 to 0.7 to 0.8. Necromancer. Bloodlance. Damage increased from 67.5 to 80. Army of the Dead. Damage increased from 30 to 45. And cooldown reduced from 90 to 70. Kind of a needed change there. I thought Army of the Dead was way too long of a cooldown. And I didn't really feel like it did very much damage either, so nice. Bloodwave. Damage increased from 90 to 120%. Passive changes. Shadow Blight. Damage increased from 20 to 22%. Grim Harvest, essence gained reduced from 369 to 246. Oof. That's like literally one of the keys to my build is Grim Harvest. And they reduced it to half, basically, and well, not half, one third of what it was before. That's terrible. I mean, it's still going to be useful, and I'm still going to keep my build, but it's rough to see them nerf your build. Serration, critical strike chance reduced from 0.5, 1.5 to 0.369. Again, another part of my build. Did they watch my videos and nerf my build specifically? Because I feel like they might have. Death's defense, maximum minion life lost in a single hit, damage reduced from 75 60 45 to 60 45 30. Interesting. So this is the protection that prevents the skeletons from dying. And basically, if you max it out now at 30%, that's 30, 60, 90. So they can technically survive 4 hits. So if you maxed it out before, they could survive 3 hits, or rather 2 hits, and then the third would kill them. Now they can survive 4 hits, 30, 60, 90, and then they have 10% left, so 4. So they can survive 3 hits, and they will die on the 4th hit. So that's a bit of a buff to the minion life. Death's defense is an important one to keep your minions alive. Class specialization, Ray Skeleton Warrior, damage increased by 10%. Golem attack damage increased by 10%. Blood Golem, life drain damage increased from 40 to 90. Wow. Blood Golem, life drain healing from enemies hit increased from 4% to 5%. Iron Golem, slam damage increased from 25 to 175%. Okay. That seems like a pretty drastic increase in the Iron Golem. That's 150% increase. Iron Golem shockwave damage increased from 30 to 40. Necromancer Paragon board changes. Hulking Monstrosity bonus life increased from 30 to 40. Cult Leader damage bonus increased from 10 to 15. Rogue changes. Skill changes. Twisting Blades. Advanced Twisting Blades cooldown reduction per enemy hit reduced from 0.25 to 0.1 seconds. Wow, they reduced it even further. So that's a 75% nerf. So it was 0.25. Now it is only 0.1, which of course is half of 0.2, but they removed the 0.5, the 0.05 as well. So yeah, that's a pretty hefty nerf to Twisting Blades. Advanced Twisting Blades maximum cooldown reduction from 3 to 2 seconds. So they really, really dug Twisting Blades into the ground. Rapid Fire, damage increased from 24 to 30. Dark Shroud, damage reduction per shadow gained from skill ranks reduced from 0.8 to 0.4. Dash, enhanced critical strike damage from 20% to 15. Caltrops, damage increased from 30 to 40. That skill is absolutely amazing, by the way. If you're not using Caltrops on your rogue, you should give it a try. It's freaking amazing. How do I count the ways? Let me see. It's a defensive cooldown, which allows you to back out of a situation, so you get to back away, and it's actually a very nice back away, way better than evasion. Number 2, it applies a slow. Number 3, it applies extra damage. Number 4, you can modify it to apply chill and freezing effects. It literally is like a 4-in-1. It's amazing. Passive changes, concussive, critical strike chance reduced from 5, 10, 15 to 4, 8, 12. Legendary affixes, repeating, maximum minion life lost in a single damage instance reduced from 75, 60, 45 to 60, 45, 30. Sorcerer skill changes, Arc Clash. Lucky hit chance reduced from 30 to 14%. Glinting Arc Clash cooldown reduced from 0.25 to 0.15 seconds. Teleport. Shimmering teleports damage reduction duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. A nerf to teleport. Interesting. Legendary affixes. Aspect of Control. Bonus damage reduced from 30 to 40 to 25 to 35. Not much of a change there. 5%. General miscellaneous class changes. Druid companions and Necromancer minions. Maximum damage over time per damage instance reduced from 2% to 1% of maximum life. Interesting. Paragon board changes. Rare nodes. Player attack speed nodes reduced by 50%. Glyphs, all glyph bonus scaling has been reduced by 35.4%, except for the following. Critical strike damage glyphs bonus reduced by 66%. Vulnerable glyphs bonus reduced by 66%. Glyph bonus to rare nodes reduced by 50%. Glyphs bonus to magic nodes reduced by 40%. Glyphs bonus cold, fire, lightning, non-physical, and physical nodes reduced by 62.5%. Wow, heavy nerfs to to the Paragon board. Monster changes significantly reduce the spawn rate of treasure goblins within PvP zones. Bug fixes. Fix the name for the Lightbearer mount. The go to shop button from the wardrobe will now properly open the shop. Fix an issue where if a sorcerer uses a deep freeze and is affected by another effect that would freeze them, it can cause them to be permanently stunned. Miscellaneous stability and crash fixes. And if you guys missed it, there was a small patch on June 2nd that included fixing an issue with NVMEs that would freeze on startup and various crash issues that were fixed. What do I think about this? I mean, I see Challenging Shout got freaking a 50% nerf. Bold Chieftain aspect got pretty much nerfed into the dirt. I mean, going from 5.4 seconds to 1.9 seconds is pretty ridiculous. And then on top of that, maximum cooldown reduction has been reduced from 12 to 6. So pretty hefty nerf all around on Bold Chieftain aspect. So for those of you who are using that one, sorry. Aspect of the Dire Whirlwind was heavily nerfed. I mean, we've got the critical strike chance going down from 10 to 8, and then the maximum critical strike bonus from 40 to 24. And then Goer's Devastating Grips, which is a unique item, I know that, got heavily nerfed as well. So went from 50 to 70 to 16 to 26, which is a really hefty nerf. Apparently people were exploiting damage against wreckable objects to increase the explosion damage, so that's apparently no longer possible. And then on top of that, they decreased the number of hits, so the maximum number of hits. So explosion damage is only increased by the first 100 hits. So once you hit 100 hits, I'm assuming it's going to cap it out. I made some interesting changes for the Druid here. It's kind of odd that they would reduce the lucky hit chance on the Calm Before the Storm. I've seen a lot of nerfs, not very many enhancements. Some enhancements, but a lot of nerfs. I'm actually very sad about Grim Harvest getting nerfed. I was actually pretty excited about spamming my Corpse Explosion to restore my essence. But it only goes down by 3, and I could probably compensate for that with some other items. We'll have to see. It looks like they are trying to beef up the minions a little bit more. They feel like the minions are still not quite where they're supposed to be. I am using minions, so I'm kind of interested in this buff to the Blood Golem. Kind of seems nice. I don't run a Blood Golem, and I don't know if I actually can, but we're gonna play around with that. Twisting Blades heavily nerfed again. This is the second time Twisting Blades has been nerfed, and I'm assuming because the first nerf wasn't hard enough. I actually talked to a couple people who were playing Rogue, and they're like, yeah, they nerfed it, but they didn't nerf it enough. And I'm like, well, now they nerfed it even more. So you guys tell me if that's enough of a nerf this time, and maybe we'll figure it out. Definitely a lot of Rogue changes here. I'm a little interested in this. I guess people were taking advantage of the Paragon board a little bit more than they had expected. And yep. This one's kind of funny because I bet you people were chasing the treasure goblins in the PvP zone and they would die in the PvP zone to other players. So that's probably pretty funny. So they heavily reduced the treasure goblins in the PvP zone. This one's kind of interesting because it again goes to the minions, so they're trying to make sure the minions aren't dying from random damage over time effects. The teleport nerf is a little odd. I guess people were abusing the crap out of teleport, and they decided they needed to reduce the damage reduction. I mean, it's no longer 5-second damage reduction, it's only 3. And that might not seem like a lot to you guys, but in the middle of a battle, 5 seconds of damage reduction is very crucial. And reducing that even by a couple seconds might mean someone's death, so I guess we'll see. Especially if you're specifically using that as a defensive cooldown. Arclash is a basic skill. I don't know why they would nerf a basic skill. I know Arclash has been targeted for some of the more fun things within the game, but at the same time, like it's still a basic skill and it's not really like super duper amazing. But they nerfed the crap out of it. I mean, damage, the lucky hit chance went way down from 30 to 15, more than half, like 51% decrease. And then also the cooldown reduction was brought down by quite a bit. I mean, all in all, it's definitely balance changes. This is what you get. And this is the kind of stuff that happens when players take advantage of certain things, like twisting blades, for instance, which is one of the things that was abused heavily within beta. And they nerfed it once in the server slam, and they didn't nerf it enough. And that's just one example of things that get abused. And once they get abused, and people and the developers realize what's going on, which doesn't take very long, the developers come in with a heavy hand and nerf the crap out of it. Now, I always hope that they don't nerf it too hard because I would like people to still use things like that. Like for instance, like they nerfed my thing, but they didn't nerf it so bad that I can't still get some good effect out of it. It's just it's not going to be as effective as I would like. I swear they watch my videos. I mean, this right here is definitely something that I've been abusing quite a bit myself, although I didn't really think it was broken or anything. I just built a character around it. Um, and then on top of that, the serration ability is definitely something that I've been abusing quite a bit as well. But, I mean, I didn't really think 1.5% was really, like, that ridiculous. But they freaking brought that down by, what, zero point 0.6? So I'm not even going to get a full percentage from it. I think that's pretty much it, guys and gals. Let me know what you guys think about the patch notes. I'm interested. Do you think some of the nerfs were too heavy-handed? Do you think they were justified? Are you surprised at some of the nerfs? Or even surprised at some of the buffs? As always, thanks for watching, guys and gals, and keep watching.